Welcome to the next installment in my video lecture series in economics. And in this particular video lecture, we're going to be taking a look at the federal budget, in particular how to calculate the debt to GDP ratio and a deficit slash surplus for the government, given government revenues and expenditures. This is for my macroeconomic principles course. So the federal government expenditures and receipts for a simple economy of the nation of Cambodia are listed in the table below. The government of Cambodia would like to reduce the debt to GDP ratio, and the finance minister of Cambodia has proposed the following. The best way to reduce the debt to GDP ratio is to increase GDP, because with a larger GDP, the ratio will have to get smaller. I therefore propose that the government expenditures be increased by 25%, personal income taxes be reduced by 25%, corporate income taxes be reduced by 25%, and contributions for social insurance be reduced by 25%. All of these moves will increase GDP by 10% by increasing consumer spending, business spending, and government spending by the exact amounts of the increased spending and reduced taxes. So here we have the table that tells us the debt for Cambodia, which is 10, and their GDP, which is 30, has the government expenditures, government transfer payments, and interest payments, which are the expenditures for the government, and the last three rows are the revenues for the government: personal income tax receipts, corporate income tax receipts, and contributions for social insurance. So it's straightforward to calculate the debt to GDP ratio. So we just take the 10 of the debt and divide by GDP 30, which gives us the current GDP debt to GDP ratio of 0.33. To find out what the budget deficit slash surplus is, we just take revenues and subtract expenditures. So the last three rows are the receipts. So 4 plus 4 plus 4 is equal to 12. And we subtract off the expenditures, which are the three rows above that. So 8 plus 5 plus 1 is 14. So 12 minus 14 is equal to 2. So this country is running a deficit of 2. Now we have to take a look at the impact of the programs proposed by the finance minister. So one of the statements from the finance minister was to increase government expenditures by 25%. So 8 times 1.25 is equal to 10. So that will be the new level of government expenditures. The proposal also had a reduction of personal income taxes by 25%. So 4 times 0.75 gives us 3. So that's a 25% reduction in personal income taxes. There's also a 25% reduction in corporate income taxes. So they were 4, and now if we multiply that by 0.75, that gives us 3, which is a 25% reduction in corporate income taxes. And the proposal also had a reduction of 25% for social insurance contributions. So 4 multiplied by 0.75 gives us 3. So if we add the government revenues together, 3 plus 3 plus 3, that gives us 9. If we add the government expenditures, 10 plus 5 plus 1 gives us 16. 9 minus 16 is equal to negative 7, which means this government is running a deficit of 7. We have to add that deficit into the debt. Okay, that's a shortfall. We have to borrow that money in order to spend it because we don't have the revenues, or Cambodia does not have the revenues in order to do that. So the new debt is equal to 10 plus 7, which is 17. And the finance minister stated that the GDP would grow by 10% because of this. So we have 30 multiplied by 1.1 gives us 33. So 17 divided by 33 gives us a new debt to GDP ratio of 0.52.